Say na 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 na. No, no. Should I do something dramatic? A dramatic change? Do this, or make it look more round? There you go. My hands are starting to hurt. I have big legs, not because they're made of meat, but because I'm fat as fuck. Nice, nice, nice. Since I can open all these up all the way to the top. Yeah, don't worry, I'll just go back to the top also. So, would you let your 12-year-old wear makeup? Now, I'm no dad, but like, ain't that shit super weird, homie? Like, imagine seeing your 12-year-old daughter looking like a grown woman already. I feel like that's a big reason why a bunch of fucking girls turn out to be sluts. Like, they think they're so big when they're young, and then when they grow up, they still keep that, like, literally little girl protected. Like, they feel so grown up when they're young. That's only because they're, like, protected by dad and mom. Like, they don't have to worry about bills and shit like that. They don't know the reality of the world. They're just hopeful little idiots, like we all are, you know what I'm saying? But then they never break out of it. It's like, it's a phase that they're always told by society and by their parents probably to always look like that. Because, like, probably because, like, if you don't look nice, you won't have a good husband. You know what I'm saying? And they grow up and then their dad hates them because, like, the dad didn't never spoke up, and like if they did, the mom would get mad at him, so then he wouldn't have pussy for the night. And like, you don't put, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that to a nigga. You can't pussy source. But if you don't want him to cheat, then you gotta give him something. And then don't be like shocked when like he cheats. Now, what am I gonna use right here? I think it's just gonna be more of the same. You know, especially since does that look nice? I mean, you're not even gonna look at it, but like, you still want it to look somewhat nice. I think this looks nice. This right here, this. Connect that shit. Connect that shit to the ground so that it looks like it looks meaty, it looks supported, and it also looks nice. Like pillars and a mixture of pillars and a mixture of like 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 the fuck like walls, I guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, because then that looks like it has a basement. I don't want to have a basement. I just want to have. You get me? Like stones. Stones are sturdy. Stones are heavy. So they wouldn't go on top. They wouldn't go on the. They would go on the sides because they would like. Wood seems like light. So light things go on top. Oh yeah, you can't. Look at that. You can't like leaves for some reason. Maybe it's just my Xbox. My Xbox is a little, I guess, slow. Or Microsoft doing that thing that Apple did where they like release an update that makes the performance of the Xbox just shit so that you buy the new shit. Look at this, the parkour right here. Can I? Yeah, look. Ooh, parkour, hardcore, you know what I'm saying? Tried parkouring in real life. Didn't work out. Not because I couldn't do it. I think I can like wall run. No, I think I can jump like a nice high wall. It's just huh? It's just I never stuck to it. Good, I've been helpful with it. Habits of good. Feeling empty. Then I never stuck with it. Like how I do with many things in life. I just kind of like do do it, and I don't do it anymore. I hate it about myself because like if I really stuck to it, I could probably be like super good in a lot of things. But I guess we'll never know since I'm not sticking to anything. Like I could start on a project, but then over time, like a day later, I can't give it my 100% anymore. I give it like a 40-60, and it turns to 50-50, and it goes from 40-60 to 60-40. 60% of my time to somewhere else, and then 40% time to go whatever I'm focused on. That, and plus I constantly get distracted doing actually like in 2 hours I'll get distracted so much that I spend most of those 2 hours were an hour and 30 minutes of just doing something completely different because I got distracted by a fucking sound or something. So I hate myself for that. I hate that about myself. That looks nice too. Oh, but it doesn't look nice because it's parallel. Okay, so look. And then right here, right, I can do a staircase made out of planks because planks are light and they go on top. And I just fill this in. Or even better, make them... Oh! Do this, look. Make it look extra light by using these. Boom. You get me? Now, when you go down, it looks like that. So it looks like they're supporting each other. Like these thick bitches are supporting these little bitches. Like in real life, you know, the ugly friend always supports the cuter friend because, you know, what looks thicker, that, but what looks cuter and smaller, that. Now you wouldn't tell that just by looking at this. That's why you need a comparison right there. So yeah, fat ugly bitches are always there for a constant comparison between a fat ugly bitch and a skinny cute bitch. It's just facts. Girls are mean. Girls are meaner than boys. Boys just straight out just say, nah, you're ugly, get the fuck out. No, boys don't even care. They're just like, hey, you're funny as shit, come hang out with us. But girls are like, ew, you're ugly, you're not gonna get boys, you're gonna get boys away from me. But you will serve as a constant reminder that I'm prettier than you. So, come hang out with me. You know? That's why some dude did a legendary equation that proved that out of two friends, one always has to be ugly. It's just, you ain't never gonna see two pretty best friends. That's all I'm saying. And it's made by that because of girls. Girls are their own worst enemy. It's like girls cooperating is much more harder than boys cooperating because boys are wired to be receptive to an alpha, a leader. You get me? Girls don't have that luxury. They're always supposed to be looking for competition. They're wired to like compete for the alpha. The alpha is just supposed to compete for the alpha position. The thing is, when you're not alpha, you accept it and you take the second role. Sometimes it's the beta, and you know, in reality, beta male isn't bad because the beta male is the second in command. It's the omega male. That's what you don't want to be. And the omega male is the weakest of the wolf pack. If you're the omega male, you like say goodbye to pussy, say goodbye to food, say goodbye to everything. And I think an omega male in real life would be something like that, like some dude that got the worst genetic combination for the face. They look fat and they're just, you know, like they're revolting, not because of the way they look, but their personality. Their personality just makes them like, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're a 5 but I like your personality, that can turn you into an 8 or a 7. That immediately gives you 2 more points, 2 to 3 points in my book, for me. You get me? But if you're already a 2 and you have a bad personality, that shit could take away points. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Omega Male is. Someone that lets their, like, we're all bored with the hand. We're all dealt a hand of cards, and you either play it or you get mad and you become stingy at the world or stingy at yourself. Now, if you are mad at yourself, that's alright. Just don't be mad by yourself if you want. Just when you bring it to other people and you force it onto them, like, you should feel bad, because I feel bad because I got tough luck. Basically, you just got tough luck. Tough luck, homie. Girls don't think you're pretty. Some guys they'll accept it and they'll look for a solution. Some other guys, they'll accept it and cause chaos. You get me? Like that line from Alfred from Batman. Some men just want to see the world burn. You know, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Some men do, but not because there's always a reason. I've always subscribed to that idea. Sometimes there's always a reason. There's always a reason. There's sometimes, you know, the reason might not be right in front of you at the moment, but there's a reason for what happened. If your wife left you, there's a reason for that too. And it might not be apparent immediately, but I still don't know where that's from. But there's still a reason, you get me? Like, even if you're the most handsome man in the world and your wife left you, there's a reason for that. Don't think there isn't. Like, you just need to go find it out. Like, whether or not you'll find it out it's on you at that point. Like, if you're mad that someone took your position at your job, shit just doesn't happen, you get me? There's a reason. You get me? And like, sometimes the reason is like obvious, like a hurricane came in so my mom died, but why would my mother die instead of some meth head? You get me? Like, the thing that I've also kind of subscribed to is that the good people get taken away from Earth first. Always. And the reason is because they done some pretty bad shit in their life that they haven't fully paid for. And what I mean by that is that that's why you're still on Earth, because you've done some bad shit in your life and you've done something bad in life, and you living is your punishment for it. Now, some people would take it a step further, you know what I'm saying? Like cutting themselves, or like in other indirect ways where they do a lot of drugs so that they can avoid the pain, avoid feeling. Now, that's a way of hurting yourself because you are causing pain. But what brings along with it is relief, like instantaneous pain relief that lasts for 30 seconds or 30 minutes, for a long time, but not long enough. What you need is a chronic solution to your chronic problem. And, you know, the reason why, like, a good Samaritan would die is because they're done. They're done with they found their chronic solution. You get me? Like, they did some bad shit for their life, and they paid for it. Now it's time to leave this hell. Now, the only thing is that pain, they don't feel pain. They honestly don't. The person that dies doesn't feel pain for dying. How can you feel if you're dead? The people that feel the pain are the immediate support. You get me? That's at least what I believe, because I think that's what gets me through the day. If I die, it's most likely because I've redeemed myself in the eyes of the Lord. You get me? But if I'm still here, there's some still shit that I need to pay for. And some dude in the Bible said, like, you don't need to hurt yourself. He would constantly give himself okay, so there's a story between these two men, right? And one man, he really hates himself for some shit that he did in life. And he starts cutting himself and he starts slashing at himself. Like, he gets a belt or some shit, like spiked belt, and he starts slapping his back. Right? So he's like atoning for his sins. But then the dude, some priest, says you don't need to do any of that, because you simply living, is you atoning for your sins. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that we're all atoning for sins that we've done already without knowing. You get me? Like, we've all done some like dark shit. Probably. Or maybe we haven't and we really are suffering for not. Then that would be a really bad realization, because then what the fuck is the point of living? You know? But I don't believe it's for not. I think it's we're just like we're redeeming ourselves constantly for the constant problems that we create for ourselves. Know what I'm saying? Shit. And like every time we cross somebody, every time we do something we know we're not supposed to, that's another sin that we've made for ourselves, and we need to atone. We're in constant atonement because we're in constant sinning, and it's an endless cycle, and not until we die we are relieved from it. Maybe we did one drastic change and that caused us to be forgiven for our sins. And if you don't believe in sins, well then we're living because your mom and dad, they had sex, and then your sperm won the race, or was there at the right time, and now you're born, and now you're just, you're doing noble things, or you're just living until you die. That's your whole purpose. You have no purpose because you don't. Now that opens another question, or another topic, or another question, yeah. You have no purpose because you believe there is no God. That might ruffle some feathers, but like, does that even make sense? Because look, why would you ask what your purpose is if you don't have someone you believe who has given you purpose? I believe we all have inherent value. Like if you're born, you have value. For some reason, you're on this earth, and I believe that reason is because of a higher power. You get me? So if you have a higher power, then you have a higher purpose given to you, thrusted upon you from a higher being. And if you don't believe in a higher being, then how can you believe you have purpose? Or you have been given a purpose. You may be useful, but don't believe you have a purpose. And if you don't have a purpose, then you don't have a divine inherent reason to live. So then you must find that for your own. You get me? If you don't believe in God, then don't go looking. No. Don't believe you have purpose. Go out and find it. So I guess that would actually make more sense for other people, like atheists and shit. Not for us, or for me, for people like me who believe in a higher power. Because it... Okay, so my stream cut out for the 5th and final time. I say final because I'm about to get off. I put a good amount of work into it. I haven't worked on the mechanics of it.